Hello, YouTube fans. Here again. Hopefully you can hear me. Could you hear that? Pissing it down with rain. Typical. I want to talk and it's pissing it down with rain. But hopefully you can hear my beautiful voice. This inspired me. If you remember anyone who's listening to Ramble for Life, who's talking about porn. Ooh. But not just any porn, fake porn. What do I mean by fake porn? Let's say you get something, let's say like E.T. Or you get something which he did with Stupid Do. Or you get something that say like Wood Psycho or Super-Do. I remember doing that one before. Or Superman. They call it porn fake, meaning it's a porno disguised as a movie. And this would inspired me. For people that could get excited, anyone who loves Star Wars films, with a lightsaber, it's not the Star Wars you're thinking of. It's Star Wars the fake, meaning an adult version of Star Wars. It inspired me. I don't remember what's in this one, but I actually like this one. Not because it's all exciting and you got beautiful women and it's got wham bam thank you man. I like it because of the story. It's more faithful to the original Star Wars. Because for me, man, to me, I've never called Star Wars, the original, the classic one by George Lucas, the original 77 one. I have never in a million years called it A New Hope. Episode 4, New Hope. Never called it that. When it first come out, back in the theatre, back in the late 70s, it was called Star Wars. It was called Star Wars. That's why one thing I will say, one thing I like about the despecialised ones is you've never got the word New Hope in it. Hooray. It's exactly like how it was back in the golden days. How I love it. But this is not what I'm talking about. I'm on about the adult version, without repeating myself, of Star Wars. So you get similar music. Often you're not going to use the music, even though they've got away with some music, copyright and all that. But you do get the bit where you got the getting attacked. You got Phoebe and R2-D2. You've seen Star Wars, you know what I mean. They're getting attacked. Darth Vader comes in. They kidnap Princess Leia. R2-D2. Phoebe go to the alien planet, just like in the film. But that little bits here, little bits there, what are different. Princess Leia, let's just say she just Darth Vader a sex act. I'm not going to say what it does. Let's say the word oral, you get the rest of what I mean. Because it's an adult film. Then R2-D2 and Phoebe, there's a funny bits in it. They do throw a little bit of comedy in it. And I've got to admit, the porn star who's playing Luke Skywalker does look like Martin Patton. He really does look like him. Though they've got a good one to play that role. And they've even got one who plays Harrison Ford's character, Anakin Skywalker. Not Anakin Skywalker. Yeah, and Solo and Skywalker. But it's Daddy. Yeah, and Solo. I've got to admit, he does look a similar bit like a longer version of Harrison Ford. So, like I say, they've got a really funny bit. They're buying the robots, and on purpose, they put a Dalek there. They actually put a fucking Dalek right at the side. I thought it was stood for laughs and giggles. Obviously done on purpose. Then, as the film goes on, I love the bit where they accidentally put the thing. And you remember Star Wars, you got this thing with Princess Leia saying, "Help me, Obi-Wan, you're my only hope." And this one, it's you're the only bow, or some. See, that's something to do with a sex act. I get it. It's an adult film. You're there. I've got no one to bow, or something like that. So as the film goes on, there's some funny bits in it. You got Darth Vader trying to do his mind trick and so on. And like I say, it's more comedy. Like the bit where, how can I put it? There's a bit where Obi's fighting. If you remember Star Wars, he fights. But before that, there's a bit where he's fighting with the Sand People. And if you remember the scene where he streams hysterical in this, Luke Skywalker streams like a deer, which I thought they did it just for laughs and giggles, and he passes out. You got one guy, he's well-known porn star, been in porn for this, playing Obi. And like I say, there's a bit where they go to the Death Star, he fights Darth Vader, he's dead, his lightsaber chunks off, and Darth Vader whacks him. I thought that was like fun, and so on. They save Princess Leia, but that bits, like I said, the one who did the porn version of this must have really had respect for the original Star Wars. Again, I'm not going to call it Episode 4. To me, it's Star Wars. 1977, it's so fucking Star Wars. It's just like when people say to me, oh yeah, Indiana Jones and the Lost and Raiders of the Lost Ark. No, it's Raiders of the fucking Lost Ark. I always get wound up when people say that. Same as when people say New Hope. It is fucking Star Wars. End of debate. Right? So, one thing I do like is the one who saw the porn version, or the one who did the porn version, I should say, must have seen Star Wars. There's a bit where they're in the tunnel and it's sinking on them, just like in Star Wars. They get out of Dodge. Obi gets killed, but there's getting the full bit of comedy in it. And then they team up. Before that, like I say, I'm going over the place here. When they meet Han Solo's character, again, they're talking about the Falcon. But then they've got a scene, they've got the same music. Remember the music where they're in the bar, it goes. They've got that, but then there's a scene where all the aliens and all the people dressed up as aliens are all having an orgy, because it's porn, so there's a bit of bonking there. It's definitely raunchy bonking. I don't say in graphic detail, I don't want to get to be a naughty boy from YouTube. Let's say they have an orgy and a lot of bonking. But that bit's I'm thinking, how the fuck could you get away with this with the music? You know the scene in Star Wars where Skywalker's in the bar? That scene. And like I say, you've got the backer meets these female stormtroopers. They do a sex act on him because it's porn, and they both end up having sex with him. So there's definitely a lot of bonking in it, which I'm trying to dodge the bonking because I'm a adult boy. But in all fairness, it's a porn version of Star Wars. How can you dodge bonking when that's what it is? So like I say, the team up. I do love one bit though, and I will say this. I love one bit when they're in the space staff and they're about to destroy the Death Star. It's computer effects. I didn't imagine them to have blockbuster effects for a porn version. I do like it because it is very similar to how the Star Wars is. The fire, the toss, the fire, the mist. And I love the bit with this one lad, he keeps calling him Fan Fader. Mr. Fan Fader? Mr. Fan Fader? And even the one that works with Darth Vader, I think he's playing Peter Tusson's role, gets a bit angry and says, Fan Fader, it's Darth Vader. I bet that got me a few laughs and giggles. But the bit he says, Van Vader, I've forgotten, I've put the microwave on and it's on XXX. And next thing you know, the Death Star blows up. Darth Vader's flying around on the fucking space. Now that did make me laugh. It made me laugh. So you get to the ending, Princess Leia meets Luke Skywalker. They obviously decided to dodge the Empire and Return of the Dead Eye, otherwise it would have been a bit of incest here. Most of all, would have been to the ball. They decided to dodge that, even though it just sort of hint it, which I thought, how the hell did they get away with that? So Princess Leia, Han Solo, Luke Skywalker, they all have intercourse. I leave it to the imagination. Then you got the similar ending where they all get awards. They would have done this for last because the backer gets an award and she sort of smiles at Luke in Han Solo to say, you've already got your prize, you've had me. And it ends like that. But I didn't really mind the fake porn version of Star Wars. I didn't mind it for what it was. It was porn. I knew what I was getting in for. I knew when I was watching it, you're going to get wham bang thanking man. And I do know they've made a lot of other porn, fake porn versions of it, even ones of the later ones. Same as they made adult versions of Star Trek or adult versions of Super Wonder Woman. The list goes on. But I've got to admit, there's sort of a budget in it. It's hard to make fun of Star Wars, but not in the way of pissing on it. Like I say, you've got the Dalek, the scene with Darth Vader, and like I say, Princess Leia's giving him oral, so they put it in detail. There's lots of bonking in it. They've got the aliens, and they do look similar to the aliens in Star Wars. I love the way it's hard to explain. and I'm not going to sell the film. But there's a scene with the Death Star, and instead of having a circle, it has X. Get it? X is in X rated. So I kind of like that. It's like I remember seeing the X version of Superman. Instead of having the simple S, he has X on the side, X rated. So even I get it, see? Even the man in the sky must love this adult version of Star Wars. It stopped raining for a little while. But yeah, I like this one, X-rated version of Star Wars. I'm not going to give it points. It's a fucking porno. Maybe the original Star Wars, I'd give it 100 because it's a classic. But it's a porn version. It's a porn version. But I've got to give it its due. I've got to give it its due because, like I said, the porn star, the one who plays Luke Skywalker, I've got to admit, who's a dud one to play him. He really did look like Martin Patton. The one who plays Princess Leia, very nice. She definitely looks like Pxxx, a very longer version of her, only very sexually active. Definitely sexually active nearly at the end of what she gets up to. I could say the back, you can definitely tell it's a die with a fursuit on. He definitely has fun with these two female stormtroopers, let's put it that way. I do like the longer version of Han Solo. I think he's doing his optimum, what he's doing, but again, the acting, it tries to be funny, and I can see the humour in it because it's an X-rated version of Star Wars. So again, I'm not going to give it points. It's a porno, but for anyone who's interested, I thought I'd do my own adult review of an adult version of Star Wars. Fuck, it'd be nice. I'll give it 3 X's. How's that? It's definitely different. It's different than what you normally see in an adult film. And like I said, there is a lot of other adult fates over the years, but I thought I'd give it a go. So until then, may the force be with you. See you later. Over and out.